Greetings. This is Charlie Wharton, and welcome to our initial Creating Contentment podcast. Throughout the upcoming weeks, hopefully you'll get to know me a little bit better, but in the beginning, here are a few basic things about me. The first one is I'm a minister. The second one is that I'm convinced that as believers, we can all enjoy abundant living by finding contentment in a relationship with God and God's people. And that leads me to the third thing, and that is I enjoy helping people find out just how fulfilling life can be for them. Now that's who I am, and no matter who you are, I welcome you to our journey as we seek to discover contentment. Over the last few weeks, we've been talking about doing a podcast, and the more I thought about it, the more I kept coming back to the idea of how can I help people create contentment in their lives. One of the best benefits of living godly lives is the promise of joy and satisfaction, something we call contentment. However, it's not something that's just going to happen. It requires thought, practice, and a belief that it can become a reality. So that's our goal for the podcast. We'll drop a show each Sunday evening in hopes of getting your week off to a good start. Now, you can listen to these shows whenever you want to throughout the week, but if you're looking for a little extra boost towards a contented week, hopefully this will be a place where you can start. As I thought about where to begin, I got to reflecting on how we approach each week. Growing up as a preacher's kid, and now that I'm involved in church work as an adult, I always thought that describing Sundays as the Christian Sabbath was rather odd. When I think about Sabbath, I think about a day of rest and reflection. If you've ever been around our house on Sundays, that's definitely not what you find. I leave early for work and am gone most of the day. We spend a good part of our day away from home and dealing with people throughout the day in various projects. By the time Sunday's over, we really could use a day of rest. However, there's another challenge for many of us on Sundays, and it's what we call Sunday night blahs around our house. After spending a weekend away from the mundane events of the week, we start to consider the week ahead, and often there's a sense of dread that seems to settle in as we prepare for Monday. So as we open our initial podcast, I got to wondering what I could do to help people face the week ahead with confidence and excitement. As I thought about where to start, I thought about Psalm 118:24, which says, "This is the day which the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it." When you read that passage, or when you hear that passage, what comes to mind? Is it a sense of hope, or does it feel like a spiritual requirement? Does it fill us with excitement, or just another obligation that we have to have a good attitude about life? I believe this passage can help us make the most of each and every day, not because God demands it, but because He's given us another day to experience His creation. We can not only see His creation, we can also feel His presence. God doesn't demand that we make the most out of each and every day. Rather, He promises to walk with us as we encounter our journey through life. As you prepare for your week ahead, I encourage you to set out to find something new, exciting, and rewarding in each and every day. Our weeks are filled with moments of opportunity. Let's take the opportunity to smell the roses and enjoy discoveries. If there are victories throughout the week, let's acknowledge them and enjoy them as well. Now, while that sounds good, how do we go about doing this? How can we shift away from the fears of what the week is going to do to us and begin to look forward to how we can make the most out of each week? I think there's several things we can do, but I believe the first thing that we need to do is find some time to rest and relax each weekend. Now, this may sound rather odd, but how many of us feel more tired coming out of the weekend than we do going into it? Sure, there should be time for fun, but at some point we need to take some time to recharge our batteries in hopes of being prepared for the upcoming week. The second thing we can do is develop an attitude of the hope of accomplishment heading into each week. It's awful tempting to head into a week fearing the failures, but what if we took the time to identify and visualize some potential victories? This may actually begin by leaving ourselves notes as we get off of work or come out of school on Friday about what has actually gone well that week. By reviewing them before heading off to tackle the challenges of a new week, we might be able to build on the accomplishments of the past. Next, we should take time to identify ways to help each other throughout the week. Take the time to consciously identify acts of kindness and encouragement you plan to accomplish in the week ahead. It could be a note of encouragement to a coworker, a trip inside the school to specifically thank a teacher for what they do, or even spending special time with one of our children. But one of the easiest ways to take the edge off of the week is by focusing some of our emotion on helping someone else deal with their week. Another thing we can do is take a few extra minutes on Monday morning to set ourselves up for a positive attitude. If you're into music, develop a Monday morning playlist. If you like to read, select a passage from your favorite self-help writer and spend a little time soaking in those encouraging words. If you like reading the Psalms, pick a few of them and read them. Now, a bit of warning on this one. Some of David's writings can be challenging, so it might be worth the effort to find the ones that can help pick you up as you make your way into the next week. Maybe a final thing that we can do is to develop a back to real life prayer life. Whether it's in your Sunday evening preparation or as you head off to your day-to-day chores on Monday, carve out a time to pray. Among the topics that you might want to cover are thanksgiving for past successes, acknowledgement of something that went well that weekend, appreciating the fact that the Lord has given us a new day with new opportunities, asking for forgiveness for what we didn't do well the week before and a chance to make it right in the upcoming week. Also asking Him to open our eyes to the blessings we have and the opportunities that will present themselves throughout the week, and just praying for a positive attitude. Remember, the gift of a new day and even a new week comes from God. So by soliciting His involvement with us, we not only open up ourselves to His guidance, but it also reminds us of the blessings He provides. Now, just a reminder about revising your Monday mornings. Make sure that you give yourself enough time to enjoy your new activity. Rushing through this process might actually create more stress than the relief it could potentially produce. When we do this, we can begin each week not with the hangover of the Sunday blahs, but with the exhilaration of Monday motivators. We wish you the best as you work your way through your week. We hope that you'll take advantage of each and every day the Lord gives you. And we hope that you'll join us next week for another chance to discuss ways that we can create contentment.